It's very simple. The Senate has had its vote. We've seen the outcome of that vote. I am not aware of any reason to believe that if we had the vote again, that we'd have a different outcome, end quote. So how would you restart the conversation when you have Senator Toomey, who's very important to this process, saying, I am done, basically?
Well, you keep trying. You keep trying because it's the right thing to do and it saves lives. And all of us have to remember the faces of the 20 children and the 6 teachers that were innocently mowed down with many rounds of ammunition. We need to stop this, and we have to have greater resolve. We need to keep it a focus on it. We need to keep involving civic leaders, religious leaders, political leaders in making this happen because it's the right thing to do. And it's sensible. Law enforcement is asking for it. Let us help them have the strength to protect us. Crack down on people trafficking in illegal guns. This only goes after the bad guys. Let's pass it.
Very quickly, based on what we saw there, and Pat Toomey and I read that, is it done for this Congress?
It's never done.
When it comes to gun legislation?
You keep trying. They told me for 10 years we couldn't pass the 9/11 health and compensation bill. We kept it on the front burner. We kept talking about it. We kept trying to push it. It will pass eventually because it is the right thing to do, and it will protect American lives. It's part of Homeland Security, and we should bring it back in the House and in the Senate and pass these reforms that law enforcement is asking for.
Democrat from New York, Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, always a pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Always great to see you.
Alrighty.
Great to see you.
All right, Shira, now over to you. It's not over if you listen to Joe Manchin. Let me play this.
I don't think he's done. I really don't. I was with Pat last night, and Pat's totally committed to this bill, and I believe that with all of my heart, and we're going to work this bill. I truly believe that if we have time to sell the bill and people will read the bill, and I'm willing to go anywhere in this country, I'm willing to debate anybody on this issue, read the bill and you tell me what you don't like.
So, you know, he says it's not over, and this morning at a speech, Eric Holder's saying something pretty similar to that. But considering here how Congress has a lot going on, we can mention it, we've got immigration, we've got the budget, sequester over the weekend, Congress looking at the Boston bombings in addition to that. The question might be, do they have the time for a gun safety bill to be passed here, given they've already had that initial vote?
Exactly. So gun control advocates obviously very adamant that it's not over. I wouldn't say it's necessarily over or not over. I would just say it's going to go on pause for a while Congress deals with all of these other issues. And that's why so many gun control advocates are looking at what it took to pass the assault rifle ban back in the 90s. It took several tries, and it could take several Congresses. Look ahead to the 2016 elections. I know that seems like it's a long time away, but Pat Toomey is up in 2016. And you know what he saw back at home after he supported this bill? His poll numbers went up. Voters liked it. And you can't help but wonder if a lot of Republicans, senators who are up in 2016 who represent blue states, and there are quite a few of them, won't see the same thing coming down the line.
Shira, you are reading my notes again. Susan, over to you. Let's talk about that poll. You know, it moved. Pat Toomey got a bump to 48%, his highest approval rating. Kelly Ayotte as well, she saw the opposite, though, a 15-point drop since October. So when you look at it, Susan, is this an issue that voters will remember going forward to 2014, looking at these poll numbers now?
And in fact, that gives you the path for supporters to think that maybe there's a chance to get this done. Obviously, it's going to be uphill, but they calculate that if they could flip one Republican senator, and Kelly Ayotte might be the #1 target for doing that, that the 4 Democratic senators who voted against expanded background checks would then come on board, and you could get this through the Senate. Then you'd still face, of course, a fight in the House. But this is an issue that is going to be part of the debate. Joe Manchin's going to make sure of that. If it starts to move again, you assume Pat Toomey would come back on board, although he sounds like a pretty reluctant partner at the moment. So, yeah, hard to do. Absolutely. Impossible. No.
Is Toomey the only dance partner for him, though?
Well, Toomey's a great partner for him in that he's somebody who's got a top rating from the NRA and comes from a swing state. I mean, he's a valuable partner, but they've got to get at least one more Republican senator. That's the task. And
trying to get to that 60. Sure, you know, Shane Goldmacher has a piece in the National Journal, Round 2 for gun control may take a next Newtown. That's the title. Now, it sounds callous and perhaps cold here, but is that the only way people will pay attention and they'll have another surge there in the Senate perhaps to get this done?
Frankly, yes, you're right. It does sound a little callous, but Congress is a reactionary body, especially this Congress, and time is the enemy for them. So the longer it goes after Newtown, the more easily I think a lot of members of Congress forget what happened there and how greatly the public reacted to it. So yes, I do think it takes another major public event often for this kind of thing to really have some more legs.
Quiet in D.C. as they're away, but not when it comes to the issues. Thank you so much, Susan Call Shira Toeplitz. Appreciate it.